Are you using your astrology and tarot practice to unlock one another's potential? Hi, I'm Danny. I'm That Witch Next Door, host of That Witch podcast, and instructor and mentor in all things magic, witchcraft, astrology, and witchy business. And one thing I find that many of my students and clients don't seem to connect right away is how helpful intentionally using your astrology studies with your tarot practice can really be. If you love all things magic, witchcraft, and astrology, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel so that you never miss a video. So I really first started using this kind of bridging the gap between tarot and astrology for myself around a year or two ago. So I was studying and practicing them very exclusively from one another, not necessarily on purpose, but I definitely was not seeking any kind of bridge or connection between the two at all. And so one of the first times that I really started bringing the cards into my astrology practice was when I got my first astrology deck. I got the Numinous Astro deck here, and this is a 45 card deck and guidebook. It's absolutely gorgeous, by the way. This has tons and tons of great info, has correspondences info, has journal prompts and exercises. I really recommend this deck. This is not sponsored at all. I just love them. I originally bought this deck, quite honestly, as a study tool in the beginning of my professional astrology career. So I knew that I would want a physical, tangible way to look at different parts and pieces of other people's charts. And so I was really drawn to the Numinous deck because it has one full deck for the houses, a deck for all 12 of the astrological signs, a deck for planets and celestials, and then major and some minor aspects as well. And this was a really big one for me because I was feeling comfortable interpreting the different astrological aspects for myself and my friends and my family, but I was definitely feeling some of that imposter syndrome when I started my astrological career. And so I was really excited to have some flashcards and kind of keywords for both myself and my client during readings. Well, the cool thing about this deck is that you can use it as a study tool. You can also use it as a straight up oracle deck. So you can pull these cards intentionally or intuitively, and there's a breakdown or an interpretation for each card, the way that an oracle deck gives one. So that is one way that you can use astrology symbols in your cartomancy or card practice, is you can seek out specifically a deck that uses planetary symbols, zodiac symbols or energy, the aspects, the houses, etc. Okay, so that, and again, it can be used as both a study tool as well as an intuitive cartomancy practice. So that's one end of things. Now, on the other side, what I really loved doing, and again, I felt really inspired by once I started using the Numinous Astro deck, I was like, well, if I can bring astrology into my cartomancy practice, why can't I bring my cartomancy into my astrology readings and interpretation and studies? And so I really found I started reaching for my deck during those readings, and look who just fell out. Well, Page of Pentacles for everybody. I love that. I found that I was reaching for my deck, especially with clients or with certain birth charts that I just felt really, really blocked from. Maybe the person had a little bit of a spiritual guard up, or maybe there was just some kind of blockage that I'm having reading their chart or whatever chart or transit it is that I'm looking at. And so it dawns on me, why am I not just consulting my cards to work through these blockages like I would use and consult my cards to work through any blockage? And so that's exactly what I love to do, is if there are any parts of the chart that feel really confusing, or I use this analogy a lot on my show and in my neighborhood, but it's like looking inside the fridge or the pantry over and over and over again and expecting to see something different. And sometimes you just need to look at things in a whole and completely different way to notice what's actually there. In comes tarot here. So that's one way that you can do it. And then another way is that there are tarot and astrological correspondences that correlate with one another. These are two of my favorite reference books that bridge these gaps. So first and foremost, I have Tarot for Yourself here. This is by Mary K. Greer, and this is a really, really wonderful tarot resource. It is the perfect, most beautiful balance of tarot study and textbook and learning mixed with very interactive journal type workbook based content. So this is such great bang for your buck. I really, really love this. But in here, it will walk you through calculating and determining your astrological birth tarot cards, as well as walk you through some of the cards that are associated with specific signs or astrological energies. And then my other favorite resource is Llewellyn's book of Correspondences. Now, just in general, this is just a really, really helpful big giant cross-reference guide of all kinds of different correspondences. But for our intents and purposes today, what really matters the most is I can scroll, nice. I can turn the page to the astrology section in here. I can take a look at Aquarius. That's just like the first sign that I took a look at. And I can go ahead and see what tarot cards are associated with Aquarius, which, of course, if you don't already know, is the star. Aquarius being the water bearer and the star, right, also being this water bearer energy. So you can also cross-reference in this textbook by going to the tarot section and looking up the astrological correspondences with each tarot card, okay? These are just two absolutely not exhaustive resources, but they are two great places to start. There are loads of places on the internet that you can also get this information with just a really, really super quick Google search away. But I really have found that bringing tarot and astrology together has done nothing but totally grow and blow the lid off of my understanding and my use of both of these incredibly magical practices. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I'll see you next time.